Welcome back to another video. We're thrilled to have you here and want to thank you for your ongoing support. Your likes, shares, and encouragement help us continue our mission of making Stoic philosophy accessible to everyone. So, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Now, let's dive into today's topic, fake friends. You know the type: selfish, manipulative, and completely insincere. They're less interested in who you are and more focused on what you can do for them. The kind of friends who take without giving, drain your energy, and leave you questioning why you're the one always putting in the effort. Have you ever wondered if someone in your life fits this description? Maybe there's a nagging feeling that something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Well, wonder no more. In this video, we'll break down 7 things only fake friends do, so you can recognize the signs, protect your peace, and reclaim your time and energy. Ready to unmask the fakes? Let's get started. 1. They talk about you behind your back. Have you ever heard a rumor about yourself from someone else and wondered, how did this even happen? Stories get twisted, whispers spread, and it all comes from a place you least expect. A person you thought was a friend. A real friend would never jeopardize your trust or humiliate you just to gain temporary attention. But for fake friends, talking behind your back is all too easy. Let me share the story of Kevin. Kevin had a close friend named Jake. They worked out together, attended social gatherings, and shared everything about their lives. But one day, Kevin started hearing strange rumors about himself. At first, it was minor things like, "Kevin's always late," but soon it escalated. Jake told their mutual friends that Kevin was unreliable and didn't take responsibility for anything. Kevin felt betrayed and realized Jake only made these comments when he wasn't around. Why? Because Jake wanted to elevate himself, even if it meant breaking the trust of a friend. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we can't control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Keep your mind calm, even when you hear something unfavorable about yourself. It doesn't harm you unless you let it." Think about this. Your worth isn't defined by what others say about you. Their words reflect who they are, not who you are. So, how do you handle this situation? First, set boundaries. If you know someone is consistently talking behind your back, calmly but directly address them. Ask, "Why do you feel the need to say these things about me?" A true friend will recognize their mistake and make amends. If they don't, it's a clear sign this friendship isn't worth keeping. Second, surround yourself with genuine friends, people who respect you. Even when you're not in the room, they'll protect your reputation and help you build a positive, supportive environment. Don't let gossip disrupt your peace. Remember, you can't control how others act, but you can choose to live in alignment with your own values. People who talk behind your back aren't a loss. They're an opportunity to recognize who truly deserves a place in your life. So, hold on to your inner peace and invest your time and energy in real friends who make your life rich or more meaningful. 2. They throw you under the bus. When life gets tough, that's when you find out who your real friends are. A true friend will stand by you, defend you, and face challenges with you. But fake friends, they'll throw you under the bus the first chance they get, blaming you for their problems to save themselves. To them, you're simply not worth the risk. Let me share the story of Daniel, a hard-working employee at a small company. Daniel was reliable and always willing to help his colleagues when they needed it. One day, a major project ran into trouble, and the boss demanded to know who was responsible. The colleague Daniel had supported countless times didn't hesitate to say it was Daniel's fault. Daniel was stunned. Not only was he blamed for something he hadn't done, but the colleague used the situation to shift the spotlight away from themselves and even improve their own standing with the boss. What hurt the most was realizing that this so-called friend had been acting supportive all along, only to take advantage of Daniel's goodwill. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we can't control others' actions, we can control our reactions. Marcus Aurelius said, "Let people do what they will. Your job is to remain calm and unmoved. Instead of dwelling on others' betrayals, focus on the lessons these experiences offer." So, how do you deal with people who throw you under the bus? First, observe their behavior. Fake friends often show their true colors. They stick around when things are good but vanish when you need them most. If someone is unwilling to defend or stand by you, it's time to reconsider the relationship. Second, set boundaries. Don't let them continue to exploit your kindness. Learn to say no to unreasonable demands and don't hesitate to confront them when necessary. A real friend will respect your boundaries, while a fake one will push back, and that's your signal to let go. People who throw you under the bus aren't a loss. They're an opportunity for you to recognize your worth and build relationships with people who truly value you. Surround yourself with genuine friends who stand by you, not just in good times, but also when you need them most. Because real friendship isn't just about convenience, it's about loyalty and trust. Protect your peace and only keep those who truly deserve a place in your life. 3. They constantly cancel on you. Have you ever spent weeks planning a special event only to get a last-minute cancellation? Or maybe you've been excited about doing something with friends, but when the time came, you were the only one who showed up, no matter how many reminders you sent. Fake friends share one common trait: they never keep their promises. Time and time again, you learn the hard way that you can't count on them, not once and certainly not when you really need them. I've been through it myself. Once, I planned a weekend camping trip. I spent an entire week picking the perfect location, preparing food, and even renting a larger tent to make the experience comfortable for everyone. I messaged each friend to confirm, and everyone enthusiastically replied, "Don't worry, I'll be there." But on the morning of the trip, the cancellations started rolling in. One person said they forgot about an important meeting. Another claimed they weren't feeling well. And worst of all, someone admitted they decided last minute to attend another party instead. I felt betrayed. What should have been a joyful weekend turned into a lonely morning as I packed up unused supplies, drove home, and sat with the weight of disappointment. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we can't control other people's actions, but we can control how we respond to them. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it doesn't belong to you, don't let it occupy your mind." Reflecting on the situation, I realized my frustration wasn't just about the canceled trip, but about placing expectations on people who didn't genuinely care. So, how do you deal with this? First, observe who truly values your time. Real friends won't consistently let you down. After that experience, I began to see that some relationships only exist when things are easy and convenient. Second, set boundaries. I decided that if someone couldn't commit to plans, I wouldn't overinvest. Time and energy are precious. Reserve them for relationships that bring value and mutual respect. Surround yourself with true friends, those who not only show up, but also appreciate the time and effort you put in, because in the end, friendship is about balance, sincerity, and trust, and you deserve nothing less. 4. They exclude you from their plans. Have you ever felt like the forgotten one? Do you notice that your group of friends often conveniently forgets to invite you to their activities, even when you go out of your way to include them in your plans or let them know what you're up to? They don't seem to reciprocate. This doesn't just leave you feeling left out. It makes you question whether this friendship is truly genuine. Let me share a time when I found myself in this exact situation. A group of friends I used to be close with decided to organize a weekend beach trip. I only found out about it through their social media posts, where they shared pictures of themselves laughing and having fun together. The kicker, just days before, I had invited them to a small gathering at my home, where I had gone out of my way to make everything perfect. While they showed up to my event, no one mentioned their beach trip, let alone invited me. I didn't just feel excluded. I found myself wondering, why didn't they think to include me? Stoic philosophy teaches us that our worth isn't determined by how others treat us, but by how we respond. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't let things outside your control dominate your mind." Instead of feeling hurt or angry, I chose to reevaluate the relationship. People who don't care enough to include you might not truly value you as a friend. So, how do you handle this situation? First, ask yourself if you're investing too much in a relationship where the effort is one-sided. If the answer is yes, it's time to step back. Friendship requires balance, and if you're always the one reaching out, it might be time to reconsider. Second, seek out relationships with people who genuinely want you to be part of their lives. These are the friends who not only invite you, but make you feel valued. Finally, appreciate yourself. Being excluded from someone's plans doesn't mean you're not worthy. It's simply an opportunity to focus on relationships that truly matter. Spend your time with people who prioritize you, who make sure you're never left behind. Because true friendship isn't just about showing up, it's about mutual respect and appreciation. You deserve that, and with the right mindset, you'll find those who genuinely want you there right by their side. 5. They call just to ask you for favors. Does this sound familiar? A long-lost friend suddenly calls you out of the blue after weeks or even months of silence. Their opening line is something like, "Hey, it's been a while. How are you?" But before you can fully enjoy the reunion, they drop the real reason for the call. "I need a favor. Can you help me out?" If you've experienced this, chances are you're dealing with a fake friend, someone who only remembers you when they need something. Let me share a story from my own experience. Once, an old friend I hadn't heard from in over a year called me unexpectedly. At first, I thought maybe he wanted to reconnect, catch up on life, and share updates. But after a few casual questions, he got to the point. He needed help writing an important presentation for work. "I know you're great at this stuff," he said. I agreed, spending the entire evening helping him craft the perfect presentation. After I sent it over, he offered a brief thanks and vanished again. A year later, he called with another request, and that's when it hit me. I wasn't a friend to him. I was just a solution to his problems. Stoic philosophy reminds us that your value isn't determined by how others treat you. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't let others invade your mind with what doesn't belong to you." Fake friends who only reach out when they need something don't reflect your worth. They reveal the shallowness of the relationship. So, how do you deal with this situation? First, observe. If someone only contacts you when they need help, that's a clear red flag. Real friendships are built on balance, where both sides show genuine care and support. Second, set boundaries. Not every request deserves your time and energy. If you feel like you're being taken advantage of, don't hesitate to politely but firmly decline. Protect your time and focus for those who truly value you. Lastly, appreciate the real friends in your life, the ones who show up not just when they need something, but also when you need them. Don't let your kindness become a tool for others to exploit. Friendship isn't a transaction, it's a connection built on respect and loyalty. Surround yourself with relationships that bring real value, because you deserve nothing less. And with the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, you can learn to protect your mind and heart from those who only appear when they want something from you. 6. They give you backhanded compliments. Have you ever heard comments like, "Wow, you did so well today, what a surprise," or "You look much better than usual"? These remarks may seem like compliments, but in reality, they're subtle insults. This is a common tactic fake friends use to bring you down gently while making it look like they're praising you. They disguise their jealousy or harsh judgment under the guise of a compliment. What they're really doing is criticizing you in a way that seems like lighthearted teasing. Between friends, think about a situation you might have experienced. You just finished a challenging presentation at work, one you spent weeks preparing for. Afterward, you feel proud of your effort and results. Then a coworker, someone you thought was supportive, comes over and says, "I didn't think you could pull that off, but good for you." At first, you might take it as a compliment, but the more you think about it, the more you realize what they're really saying. They didn't believe in you from the start. Instead of celebrating your success, they've made you feel like you need permission to be proud. Stoic philosophy reminds us that our worth shouldn't be determined by the words of others. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone thinks poorly of you, remember that's their opinion, not yours." Backhanded compliments don't reflect your abilities. They reveal the insecurity or envy of the person delivering them. So, how do you handle this? First, recognize it for what it is. A genuine compliment doesn't leave you feeling unsettled or diminished. If someone's words make you feel small or undermined, it's not a compliment. It's a subtle form of criticism. Second, trust in your abilities. You don't need to prove your value to people who constantly try to downplay your achievements. Remind yourself that your success is the result of your hard work and dedication, not something you need permission to be proud of. Finally, reconsider the relationship. A true friend will respect and genuinely celebrate your accomplishments. If someone frequently uses backhanded compliments to bring you down, they may not deserve your time or attention. Surround yourself with people who uplift, support, and respect you. Friendship isn't a place for someone to hide jealousy under the guise of just joking. It's about companionship, encouragement, and mutual growth. You deserve friends who make you feel proud, not doubtful of your worth. With the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, you can learn to recognize and distance yourself from those who hurt you under the mask of false praise. 7. They only talk about themselves. Have you ever felt like just an audience member in a conversation with a friend? They constantly talk about themselves, their problems, and everything happening in their life, while showing little to no interest in your thoughts or feelings. When you try to share something, they ignore it or quickly shift the topic back to themselves. Over time, you realize that communication between the two of you is largely one-sided. Let me share a story about my friend Sarah. She had a friend named Emily who always expected Sarah to listen and offer support. Every time they met, Emily would dive into her work troubles, family issues, and even petty arguments. Sarah tried her best to empathize and help, but whenever she attempted to share her own feelings, Emily would cut her off and steer the conversation back to her own life. Once, when Sarah expressed her worries about transitioning to a new job, Emily brushed it off with a vague nod and immediately started talking about a project she was working on. Eventually, Sarah realized this friendship wasn't giving her the support she needed. Emily wasn't really listening or caring about her. Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect and balance are the foundations of any relationship. Marcus Aurelius once said, "We are here not only to live for ourselves but to support and be supported." A true friendship must be built on mutual care, where both sides feel valued and heard. So, how do you recognize and deal with this one-sided friendship? First, pay attention to the signs. If you notice that you're always the listener and never the one who gets to share, that's a clear red flag. A healthy friendship requires balance, not perfection, but at least an effort from both sides. Second, try addressing the issue openly. Let them know that you need space to share your own feelings too. A real friend will acknowledge their mistake and try to do better. But if they dismiss you or continue as they always have, it might be time to reconsider the relationship. Realizing that a friend only cares about themselves can be heartbreaking, but continuing to deny it and staying in such a relationship is even more painful. Remember, you deserve genuine friendships where you're heard, valued, and able to grow together. And there you have it, the 7 things only fake friends do. Recognizing these red flags isn't always easy, but it's a crucial step toward protecting your peace and surrounding yourself with genuine people. Fake friends may drain your energy, test your patience, and leave you doubting your worth. But the truth is, their behavior says more about them than it does about you. Imagine a life where your relationships are built on trust, mutual respect, and real connection, a life where you're no longer weighed down by one-sided friendships or veiled insults disguised as compliments. That's what you deserve, and the good news is, you have the power to make it happen. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom that helps you navigate life's challenges. And now, it's your turn. Comment below with one lesson or realization you've had about friendships, good or bad. Let's create a space where we can learn from each other and grow together. Because when you surround yourself with the right people, you not only protect your soul, you thrive.